Hi, this is Mary O'Connor with a special episode of Inside Onward that dives into the great stories in our first edition of Passions, a magazine we've put together to showcase our love of many things and our joy in communicating those things creatively. This best of episode features highlights of each conversation. To listen to the full episodes, you can search for Inside Onward wherever you listen to podcasts, or scan the QR codes at the end of each magazine article. And you can always visit us at onwardpublishing.com. I'm here with Amanda Schiralli-Smith, our senior project manager here at Onward. But when she's not juggling all the details of multiple projects at once, it's safe to say she'd rather be camping. Is that safe to say?
That is absolutely safe to say. Get me into the woods.
And specifically up in the Adirondacks, as her family has for years and years. So I've never truly been camping personally, but your story in our first issue of Passions makes it sound very magical. So why, in your opinion, should someone get out there and go for it?
There are so many benefits to going camping. I feel like especially nowadays, like I grew up going camping, obviously in the 90s where we weren't surrounded by tech and screens at all time. But I would say someone going now, if you sit at a computer all day and you're staring at your screen and then you go home and you're scrolling on your phone and you're watching TV, you're just in front of screens all day long. And so getting out into the woods, you can it's an opportunity to just disconnect and put your toes in the sand or wherever you are, go touch some grass. It's just an opportunity. It just immediately elevates your mood to be out in nature. I don't think that we as humans are meant to be just this rapid fire information input at all times. And getting out into the woods, it's just an opportunity to take a deep breath and remember that we're just on a floating rock in space. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it. You sleep better, everything tastes better in the woods, in my opinion. The air is just fresh. It's just a really lovely reset. And it is a lot of work. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that it's not. You need a lot of equipment. It takes a lot of planning so that you can really enjoy yourself. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong and a lot of things that you need to plan for. So if you are a first timer, I would say do your research. And we can get more into that a little bit. I mean, I have, I love camping, but I'm still learning,
So I'm here with Anthony Stiso, our senior art director at Onward.
Hey, nice to be here.
Thanks for walking across the hallway to be here. And I think it's safe to say you probably have way more cool and environmentally sustainable hobbies than anyone I know. But when you're not coming up with clever designs for our Passions magazine, you're usually researching eco-friendly lawn maintenance, raising shrimp in your koi pond, making compost tea.
Oh, yeah.
Or what kind of brings us to our conversation today, setting wood on fire in your driveway.
That's it.
Which is the story you share in our first issue of Passions. But you even do this artistically using a Japanese technique called yakisugi. Am I saying that correctly?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's another name for it too?
I think it got a little Americanized and they call it shugiban. But I think the proper way is version? Yakisugi. And, I could be corrected on all of that because, it's only my research.
We'll double check and edit this later. Yeah. And so that leaves the wood both aesthetically interesting and perfectly protected for building. And in this case, you were building an outdoor shower.
Yep. Outdoor shower.
So did the shower idea come first and then you came across this technique to do this and it kind of lit the light bulb above your head?
The shower idea was something we decided on when we were doing some renovations outside. we thought, that'd be cool because, we're close to the beach. So that helps. The boys come home filthy from sports all the time. Everything. Yeah, everything. So it's much easier to just kick them in the backyard and say, clean up instead of destroying the house, getting to the bathroom. And then, it was a do-it-yourself type of thing. And, I came across this idea of it from one of our old friends and clients, Dave. And he was doing a restaurant reno, and he wanted something like a fence to kind of block the view of some mechanical things. Mm-hmm. And he's like, check this out. It's some Japanese burned wood called Shugibon. He told me to look it up. So I'm like, so I did, because I had to make a Photoshop like mock-up of it. So I had to look it up and get some references, and I got hooked on it. I was just like, wait a minute, this is it's completely durable. There's no chemicals involved, and it's kind of maintenance free. It's just fire. So
yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, seeing that, you're like, oh, I can do this.
I was like, wait a minute. It's like, I can't mess it up too much.
I'm here with Denise Shapani, our editorial director at Onward, and she's spearheading our inaugural issue of Passions. And in this issue, she shares a glimpse of her home library, a quirky collection of her own that she's carted across the world. And I loved reading this as a fellow book person. I like saying book person, not bibliophile or book lover. I feel like, I don't know your thoughts on that.
Book person, I think, is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
bibliophile sounds a little too highfalutin, maybe.
Yes.
And, book lover. I don't know. I'm a book person.
Yeah, a book person. So like you, I've moved over the years, and there are always so many boxes of books.
Yes.
And so many movers who love to comment on, why would you drag all these books with you?
Yeah.
Every single time you go.
Yes.
And you're like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. But I loved that you put words to those feelings, at least for me.
Yes.
So I wondered, why did you want to share this story with our readers for our first issue?
Well, that's a good question. And I was thinking back to when we first were having discussions here at Onward about creating our own magazine and how it was going to be about the things that we loved. And if I think of something that I love that's not a person, it's going to be a book. So, and having the library that I created in my house, I've always had books in my home, in various apartments, in my room at home when I was a child, and now in my home with my family. But it was only a couple of years ago that I really focused on creating a library intentionally and like setting it up the way I wanted it to look and making it a destination in my house. I had a room that was perfect for it. So it just was immediately front of mind because it was something relatively new in my life, even though I've been a book person since I learned to read.
That's exciting, but also I could see it being maybe overwhelming about where to start or how you wanted it to be. Did it feel that way at all, or you kind of had a vision for it?
I had a little bit of a vision, and actually, even just design-wise, I actually had a little bit of help from this online design sort of outfit,
cool.
Which I didn't really mention in the story because it was more about my books. But
right.
I had this room, and it's small, and I had old bookshelves, and I thought I want to turn this into something that's a library to house the books, but also a place to, sit and read or sit and have a drink with my husband or have a cup of tea by myself. So I went with this like little just online thing that helps you come up with a design. You send them your ideas and your inspirations, and they come up with a design, and then they try to get you to buy all this stuff. So I went on, I loved everything that the designer came up with, and then I just sourced my own items.
I'm here with Elora Dedona. She's our project coordinator at Onward, and she grew up in a rural town in New Hampshire before she made her way to us in New York, where she manages projects and photo shoots, among many other things. But New Hampshire is certainly still a part of who she is, and especially what her mom instilled in her as an avid gardener and an original homesteader before it became trendy. Is that safe to say that she's an original homesteader?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. There was a lot of gardens growing up.
So I have to admit, square foot gardening does sound like something even a very much not homesteader like myself could tackle. And I think more people are trying to do it today. Do you have plans to build your own at your new home on Long Island?
Yeah, we're definitely going to